The jungle is home to some of the most extraordinary creatures on planet Earth. One such creature stalks the rainforests of Central and South America as the king of the jungle, the jaguar. Pound for pound, this large feline has the second strongest bite of any mammal on Earth. But to survive beneath the Amazonian canopy, the jaguar must also be one of the most versatile creatures. It's all part of being an apex predator on life, death, and taxonomy.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's 30 minutes of interesting animal info, and I'm not keeping it. I don't want it anymore. You know why? Because it's for you. We made it for you. And you know who we are? I'm Joe.
And I am Carlos.
And today we'll be talking about a cool cat that can bat at crocodile backs and fat rats like they're doormats and defeat them in combat. But more on that later.
A bat? Oh, this is good. This is golden.
I guess the guy outside that I told we wouldn't be rapping on this microphone, I was lying.
Yeah, you were lying.
It was a little bit of rapping. Wasn't good rapping.
Do you want to do that again with a beatbox behind it?
No, not at all.
Because I can and I will do that.
I won't. I told him no. I won't make myself a liar.
All right. Keep it honest.
But yeah, today we're talking about a cool cat.
What cool cat?
A jaguar.
A jugular?
A jaguar.
The juggernaut?
Yeah, pretty much.
Jughead?
Jaguar is what they call him in Winnie the Pooh, the most heartwarming bear. But yeah, jaguar or jaguar as I would like to say.
Yeah, we'll call it jaguar. I'll call it jaguar.
Would you call it anything else?
You can say jaguar, I guess. Some people say that.
Jerry Jaguar?
Jerry.
You had me at roar.
Mark Jaguar. But the jaguar is AKA, also known as, as of now, because I made these up, the all-American apex predator, the champ of Chomp, and my personal favorite, the 2017 luxury sedan of the year.
That's pretty funny. So are you ready to hear how this boy lines up in the animal kingdom?
Okay.
Spoiler alert, because it's Kingdom Animalia.
You're not spoiling it. We're starting at the right place.
Uh-huh. Phylum, Chordata. Mm-hmm. It has an agile spine.
I totally saw that coming.
Class, Mammalia.
I'm getting good at this.
Because it's furry. And its kids drink milk. Order, Carnivora, because it eats flesh.
Okay.
Suborder, Feliformia, if you like. Family, Felidae.
Feel a day coming. I feel a good day coming.
Subfamily, Pantherinae. That sounds good. And then genus, Panthera. And the species is Onca.
Panthera onca.
Yeah, Panthera onca.
And apparently there's a subspecies, and it's onca.
Oh, good.
Like bison, it's onca.
Panthera onca.
One of 5 true species underneath the genus Panthera.
Including?
The lion, the leopard, the snow leopard.
Oh. Tigre?
And the tiger.
Yeah.
Tigre, yeah. You said tigress.
The Tigris and the Euphrates.
No, not the Euphrates, just the Tigris.
Okay, Euphrates is a different animal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a river. I want to put out fake news.
I can't believe this is the second time we've mentioned the Euphrates River on this podcast.
We talk about it a lot. You know, I think about the Euphrates River all the time. But you know what I think about more, at least today? Where this jaguar lives. Jaguars live from Mexico down to South America, as far down as like Chile and Argentina.
Even now, or was that their previous range? Because I saw
it's shrinking because of building things, but
bad people.
It's still pretty much there. It's more densely populated in Belize, Brazil, and the rainforest therein.
Makes sense. Those are because there are fewer people there.
Yeah. But, I mean, they prefer wetlands, jungles, rainforests, grasslands. But they can also live in scrubs and deserts.
Did you say they were also in Central America?
I said they're
You said Belize,
as high up as Mexico.
Yeah. They're in New Mexico, too, and Arizona.
Jeez.
Did you hear about El Jefe?
No.
I'll save him for later.
Okay. Let's talk about what it looks like. It's golden to auburn in its base color, with rose-like spots, which can be just pure spots, or sometimes they can be a one dot with kind of a rose-shaped circle around, not a circle, but a rose-shaped
Some petals
pattern around it.
called
Yeah.
rosettes.
Yeah.
Rosettes.
They also come in black, if you like that motto of Jaguar.
Which is actually not a different model, just a genetic anomaly.
Yeah, it is. It's like being a redhead. It's just a rare trait.
Yeah, it's extra melanin, and they're also it's leopards and jaguars, both together, when they're black, are called black panthers.
Yeah.
Which technically, yes, they are panthers. They're in the genus Panthera, but both Bagheera and Chadwick Boseman are leopards. Is it Boseman or Bosman?
Boseman.
The Black Panther?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chadwick Boseman, I think. Who could say? They have short, stocky legs, which are good for climbing and swimming. Shorter and stockier than other cats in the same weight class. They have lard heads. They're fat heads. They have large heads with powerful jaws. Short tails compared to other cats. Sometimes very stocky little tails. They have huge yellow eyes, which actually are the biggest eyes for its size as compared to other predators. Jaguars are the largest predator in its normal habitat. So it's not really competing with anything except for people.
That's why I called it the All-American Apex Predator. It's in North, Central, and South America, and it's top of the food chain.
Except for like a very large crocodile, perhaps.
But it's not the regular prey of a crocodile.
Right. They're slightly smaller than cougars in North America. I would think that.
Really?
Yeah.
They're smaller?
Yeah, cougars are kind of big.
Huh.
They're sexually dimorphic when it comes to size, with females weighing up to 20% less than males. Now you know that.
Yep. That sounds like it's leading somewhere.
But since I said size...
Sounds like it's leading somewhere I don't want to go.
That brings us to the listener's favorite part of the show.
You're going down a path I can't follow.
Say it with me now. Measure up! That's pretty good. Anyway.
We need to harmonize next time.
We'll figure it out. This is the part of the show where I pose to you questions that will illuminate the size and dimensions and other interesting measurements that relate to this creature.
Okay.
In the form of a quiz.
Are you... All right, whatever. I'll preface this by saying you're going to use actual dimensions this time. Not like a week equals 10 feet.
Yes, I got a little out of hand.
Yeah,
We're getting back to our regularly scheduled, kinder, gentler measure-up season.
I can't do this, man.
Here we go. Weight, 56 to 96 kilograms, or 123 to 212 pounds. They can max out at about 158 kilograms.
Ooh.
And 300, which is 348 pounds.
Heavy boy.
Heavy. But I averaged it at about 156 pounds. 156.
Okay.
How many Lil Bubs, the famous internet cat celebrity, go into a Jaguar?
There's more than one famous internet cat celebrity?
There are many.
Oh, man. I only know one.
What?
Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, that's
the only one that... Did I tell you that I was at a fair one time and Grumpy Cat was a show in the stadium at the Minnesota State Fair, and the tickets were sold out. They weren't sold out for the Linkin Park concert, but they were sold out to see Grumpy Cat live.
What does he do live?
I have no idea because I was working the whole time. I can only sometimes hear
just the cheers. Because Grumpy Cat grumped at something.
I don't know. What a world to live in, you know?
Anyway, how many Little Bubs go into a Jaguar?
Those guys, what are they? between 5 and 10 pounds.
Cats?
A 10-pound cat sounds heavy. Those guys are pretty light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this cat was famous for. Maybe it was famous for being enormous.
Maine Coons are 10 pounds.
Yeah,
probably.
Did you say what kind of cat this was?
I did not.
So
because I don't know.
Could be a Maine Coon. So I'll say.
Here's my hint. It's not a Maine Coon.
All right, so we'll say like 3 to 5 pounds. That seems like a general good healthy cat weight.
Okay.
And at 150 pounds, oh gosh, what is that? That's 50. That's 50 times.
50 bubs?
50 bubs.
It's 39 bubs.
All right.
So he's 4 pounds, right? That checks out. I didn't write down how many pounds he was, but I'm guessing.
I said 5 pounds.
Yeah.
At 100. Really? Yep. 37.5.
Okay. Let's move on to strength. How strong are they? And how are we going to measure this? Here's the question.
Good question.
How many distances that a jaguar can pull an 800-pound bull, which is 25 feet, go into the world's farthest motorcycle jump?
Evel Knievel style?
Yeah.
Or was it done by Evel Knievel?
It wasn't Evel Knievel.
No.
I forget who it was.
I bet you it's been passed since then.
Since I looked it up today?
No, since Evel Knievel.
Oh, yeah. How many jaguar bull dragging distances go into the longest jump?
10.
14. Not bad.
Okay.
14
That's
distances.
pretty far. That's like, what, 350-something feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
So
It was a kinder, gentler season. It's a little break
I can breathe again.
after that last one. But that leads us into some fast facts. So jaguars are near threatened, which means they may become threatened in the near future, but are currently not in the endangered category. They are difficult to find and incredibly elusive. You may live in an area densely populated by a jaguar and never actually see one because they're so sneaky.
They're loners also.
They're also loners, yeah. Cubs are rarely observed in the wild because they're also very sneaky, especially with their cubs. Cubs are born blind and helpless, raised by a mother, a single mother. She's a real champ. For about 2 years.
The champ of Chomp.
Yeah. Champ of Chomp indeed. She raises them for 2 years and then they become solitary by age 3. They, like you said, they generally hunt and live alone, but they have been observed cooperating and sharing kills.
That's weird because I read that they were very jealous of their kill and would hide it away in a tree and attack anyone who got near it, including their own kin.
Yeah, but they have been observed. You know how I know that? Because I saw a video.
Because you watched a video of it?
Yeah. Like we said before, black panthers are jaguars and leopards. And if you look closely, you can see spots.
Mm-hmm. You can see it more on the jaguar I saw. On the black jaguar pictures, I saw it more clearly than on the black leopard.
Yeah. Pretty. Yeah, it's like it's just like you painted over a wall with one coat of black, and it used to be a leopard print.
Well, yeah, and it when you first painted it, it looked good. It looked like you covered it, but then it dried, and you're like, dang, this did not cover it at all. I should have started with some primer.
Yeah. Jaguars are among the only cats that are comfortable in water, along with tigers. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much as comfortable hunting in the water as they are on land, because they like a lot of things that live in the water, like turtles, fish, and crocodiles and capybaras that seek out wetlands and lakes and rivers.
Cool.
Hence the fat rat. That's what a capybara.
That's the fat rat you were mentioning in the intro.
Capybaras are the largest rodents.
Huh. They're not as ugly as most rodents.
No.
But maybe that's because they're bigger.
Usually smaller things are cuter.
Aren't those the ones that have little trunks?
No. That's a tapir.
What?
That's a tapir.
Yeah, tapir.
They have huge eyes and can see well at night, but they aren't nocturnal. Not nocturnal.
What?
Nocturnals. I like totals.
So does the jaguar.
Yeah, he does. He likes them. He tastes good.
He likes totals.
They prefer dusk and dawn for hunting times.
Me too.
But their keen vision can see through foliage and underwater.
Not same here. I can't do that.
I don't think when I read this they meant
X-ray vision?
They can see in water. Like when they're in water, they can see perfectly.
They have like a polarized vision.
Almost.
They can see through the glare.
Yeah, so they can catch things that are under the water.
Okay.
And here's the last fast fact, if you go on a trip to South America, don't wear Calvin Klein's Obsession cologne.
They love it, or they'll find you.
It contains a chemical from the scent glands of civets.
Really?
South American small predatory cats. And it's similar to Jaguar's own scent glands, their own scent gland chemicals. So Jaguars like to rub their own scents on spots covered in this cologne.
So you're going to get peed on by a jaguar.
So it's used by photographers to lure out jaguars.
That cologne?
Yeah.
Why don't they just use, like, civet pheromones?
Because it's harder to get than,
the cologne.
Calvin Klein's Obsession.
They should talk to Calvin Klein's supplier.
Plus it probably smells nice.
Their civet pheromone supplier.
It's called, I shouldn't have even brought it up. It's called Civa something. I forget it. Civitone or something like that.
The name of the chemical?
Yeah, I think it's called Civitone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to spray on your body, too.
Yeah. And it doesn't necessarily have to be pee.
It's just scent glands.
Cats actually have scent glands all over they have some by their mouth and on their face.
Yeah.
Which is why we've mentioned before on this show, they like to rub on your leg with your face and headbutt you.
I wonder if jaguars would do that.
Yeah, and then they'll kill you.
And then kill you and eat you.
You're mine, and also I'm hungry. So
you are my kill.
They can't have their human flesh and eat it too.
Eat it too? Oh, they most certainly can. They can eat some of it and then still have some of it left, so both of those things are fulfilled. But is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Actually, I have one more fast fact. The name Jaguar comes from the Native American word Jaguar, Yajuar. So I don't know if that's like an H, like Jaguar, like Juan, or Jaguar. But it means he who kills with one leap. Very cool.
That's very apropos.
They are the only North American cats that can roar.
Okay.
There, I said it right the third time.
North American or just American? What's in South America that can roar?
I don't know. Civet?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It said North America, so.
Okay.
So the main fact, the major fact for the jaguar is how strong its bite is. If you type in strongest bites in the animal kingdom, you're going to get a lot of lists that are a little bit misleading. Here's Bite Club. And we're going to break the first rule by talking about it because the leader of it is the Nile crocodile.
Wow.
Sometimes the second one is the saltwater crocodile, but sometimes it's just crocodile in number one. So that makes jaguar change its position depending on if you include that. So crocodile is number one. Number two is the alligator. Oh, I should say the pounds per square inch. The crocodile has 3,700 psi. That's its bite down force. The alligator is not a close second at 2,125 psi. And then the hippo is number three at 1,825.
Excessive.
Yeah, for a herbivore. But they got to fight.
Yeah,
I guess. They got to fight and bite.
They live with those crocodiles, so
they got to bite for their right to party. They got to bite for the right to party.
What are they biting? 7-layer dips?
Yeah, but two of those layers are going to be green beans. After the hippo is number 4, the jaguar, with a bite of 1,500 psi. And then after that, you have the lion. Well, not directly after that, but the lion and tiger don't even make it on the list because hyenas and polar bears and grizzly bears all make it onto the list. It says the lion and tiger pretty much equal out at 1,000 psi. So that's almost 4 times less than the crocodile and significantly less than the jaguar. So, and then I saw on the Wikipedia page, and the study that the Wikipedia page was linking to said that that the jaguar did not have as tough as as strong of a bite as the lion and tiger. So I was like,
yeah,
someone's lying to me.
Someone's lying.
Yes.
It's the lion. He wants everyone to think he's the strongest.
Yeah, he's puffing himself up.
Yeah.
By eating puffins.
They don't eat puffins.
They don't eat puffins, no.
They would.
They would if they lived in Ireland. I read a study done by the Wiley Online Library, which sounds crazy, but it is a very respectable source for information. In a biological magazine they do called The Anatomical Record. And they did a study on all these different big cats, and they analyzed all this stuff, and I was not about to read through that dense study. But I did go to the chart that had their weight and their bite strength, and it had the Jaguar at 705 kilograms for their bite strength, and the Tiger at 910. I meant 705. 705, 910. So clearly the Tiger is stronger, has a stronger bite than the Jaguar.
Right.
So then I was like, well, all of these posts must be echo chambers of some like ridiculous notion, because clearly it's not as much. But it's by weight, like you were talking about earlier. So it's pound for pound.
Right.
So if you were to equalize their weights, the Jaguar is about half the weight of a Tiger. So if you were to put a Jaguar at 100 kilograms, or what, like 220 pounds, and the Tiger is 200 kilograms, which I guess would be 440 pounds. So if you were to double up the Jaguar's weight, it would have a bite force of 1,410 kilograms compared to the Tiger's 910. So for the same weight, it's significantly more powerful bite. That's where it comes from.
But there's a different measurement for besides pounds per square inch.
Yeah, there's
one called like LBK or something.
KGF.
Yeah,
kilograms of force. I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
Which is a different measurement than PSI. So sorry, I didn't calculate the difference between kilograms of force with pounds per square inch. But according to some articles that went on PSI, the Jaguar was more powerful than the lion and tiger. But according to this, which goes by kilograms of force, it is less powerful. But more powerful pound for pound. Kilogram per kilogram.
But the issue is like, what about there's different bite forces, or there's different pounds or weight in a bite based on where it is in the mouth. So different parts of the jaw will actually have different bite forces technically.
Yeah, so they measured the canines.
Yeah. And
they also measured the carnassials, which if you've ever looked at a dog's mouth, it's kind of where the molars are.
Yeah.
Although they don't have molars because they're not herbivores at all. They don't have to grind up plants.
That's where we do our crushing.
Yeah. So, and that's where your bite strength is the greatest, is
right.
in near your molars. But for them, they're actually like for shearing. So those teeth are meant for tearing flesh from bone.
Okay.
And they're that is the strongest bite force. So I kind of I ignored the canines just because that wasn't the strongest, the most force that was exerted.
Right.
And yeah, so what the Jaguars do with this incredible bite is they take a little bit of a different aggressive approach when it comes to taking down prey. Usually a lion or a leopard will crush the windpipe of the animal that they're taking down so that the animal asphyxiates, and then they can eat it. In fact, when I was in South Africa, the ranger guy told me that cheetahs kind of nick the neck. They try to nick that neck. It's a nick neck. They try to get the jugular so that the animal bleeds out, because cheetahs have really, really, really weak jaw strength because most of their muscles are in their running.
Right.
So they try to nick that jugular and just let the animal bleed out, and then they just trot over to it. But then bigger cats will try to crush the windpipe. For the jaguar, it crushes the skull.
Yeah.
So it either bites at the back of the neck, severing the skull from the spinal cord, or it just straight up crushes the skull, depending on what it's eating. So like for snakes, it'll crush the skull, or turtles or something like that. And it can also go through turtle shells.
Yeah.
And I saw a video of lions trying to get to a tortoise, and they kind of just bat it around, but there's nothing that they can do. It would just break their teeth if they tried to.
But then I don't understand if that study says that the lion is stronger bite force, technically.
That's a good question.
I think that there's something to be said about the jaguar's like smaller jaw, or the pounds that he's exerting in a tiny area, like with the canine.
It definitely does have a smaller jaw, which gives it more leverage when it bites. The jaguar does.
Yeah.
So maybe that has to do with being able to crack a turtle shell. You ever seen those videos of people who with their bare hands split an apple in half?
Yeah.
It's not about how strong you are. It's about the correct application of leverage.
Right.
So maybe that's the reason why it can crack a turtle shell. Maybe turtles in South America have softer shells.
I also imagine like a river turtle is going to have a softer shell than a tortoise.
Yeah, than an African tortoise or something like that. So yeah, because of its ability to do this and also its affinity for water, the jaguar eats pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Anacondas, caimans, alligators, and sometimes crocodiles.
Where does it get alligators?
Mexico? I don't know. It specifically said alligators, so I don't know how far down alligators go.
Yeah.
But it said alligators. But more often it attacks caimans because those are like smaller versions of alligators and crocodiles.
Mm-hmm.
But it also likes to fish.
Yep.
And so it'll do this by dipping its tail into the water and luring the fish and then catching them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a pretty interesting move.
Yeah.
It's the tip of its tail is usually black, so I don't know why that makes for a great lure, but I
guess prey movement.
Yeah, makes it look like a really big worm.
Yeah.
So now on to El Jefe.
Oh yeah.
The jaguar that still is roaming around Arizona. Tucson, I think, is where he's around. And so at least for the last 3 years, he's roamed around there. And they track him with a dog that specifically smells El Jefe's droppings.
Okay.
And they have found black bear hair in these droppings. So El Jefe has possibly eaten a bear. At the very least, he's tussled with it and eaten some of its hair.
I feel like it's possible. A smaller bear.
A black bear. Like the down in New Mexico they have, and Arizona they have, smaller black bears. And we've talked about how big black bears are, and I'm sure that maybe a cub or something like that.
Yeah.
Is probably more likely. It doesn't seem that's too much of a match of strength for really the jaguar to
bother with.
Yeah, unless it was defending itself. Overall, you don't want to mess with a jaguar.
For sure, no.
These guys are tough cookies. And that's all I got. For you out there in podcast land, stalk your prey, pounce silently, and deliver your food to the cold embrace of death, like the jaguar does in Life, Death, and Taxonomy. Shirts, coffee mugs, and tote bags. Get your exclusive one-of-a-kind premium ultimate knock 'em dead merchandise from your favorite audio-only Animalian educational show, Life, Death, and Taxonomy. The proceeds for every item you buy go directly toward buying a second microphone, getting better audio editing software, and other things that a mid-century carnival barker like me wouldn't understand or know about. Regardless, if you don't want to cough up any coin, you can always leave us a 5-star review for absolutely free on your favorite podcasting app. See you next week, and have a wild day.
This podcast is brought to you in part by the Brain Trust Brothers Network. For more information about this podcast or others, visit braintrustbros.com.
I'm sorry, they're violent because we've been focusing on predatory animals.
Or you could deliver your food with Uber Eats.
Oh, that would have been a good one. No, that's a bad one. They don't use Uber Eats.
They're delivery dudes kind of people.